As we move deeper into this very generous bull market, it is important to remember to take profits, perhaps even along the way. And the focus of today's video is on what one simple indicator would allow us to give a general idea of when to realize some of those paper profits and, well, put them to good use. With that said, welcome back to EllioTrades channel. I'm your host, Krown, again today with some good old TA. And once again, I want to encourage you in the comment section below to let us know, what sort of topics you want to see covered. And with that in mind, also let us know what sort of coins you might want to see as well, or just let us know if you hate me and you hope that I die. My girlfriend thinks that's funny in the background, but she's very unsupportive. So you know what? We're just going to ignore that right now. Okay, so before we get into this one, I should also let you know that what we're going to talk about today is not fully optimal. It is going to be good enough. We are thinking Pareto principle here, the 80-20% rule essentially. And I want this to be digestible for someone who's newer. And hopefully we can do this, hopefully in less than 15 minutes. So I'll do my best there. I want to be economical, which I'm not right now. And I should also let you know if you want more in-depth analysis. Of course, I have my own channel where I do daily analysis on Bitcoin and several altcoins at request as well, to better or worse. And the link is in the description below. Anyways, let's get into it right now and waste no more time. And what are we going to be talking about today? The RSI. Now, the RSI is one of those indicators alongside actually moving averages that I've always found value in my whole trading career. Problem with the RSI, just like moving averages, is that it kind of gets a little bit of a bad rap because, well, it's usually one of the first indicators that people find. And because of that, it becomes a bit of a meme, as does anything that's good. And then, well, people just use it all wrong. With that said, I want to get one thing very clearly out of the way right here. There is nothing at all whatsoever that is considered overbought or oversold when it comes to the RSI. Whenever you hear that, no, very much no. But what we're going to talk about right now is several times more important than that and can be very, very good in letting us know, especially if we are trading a more long-term trend, for example, which we'll be going over right now, when to essentially get out and take profits or just, not be on the green button. It's a little bit more risky than not. Okay, so first things first, I should show you how to get the RSI. Well, if you're just going to go with the default one, just type in RSI right here in your indicators and tabs. And it's going to be the built-ins right there, relative strength index. And we're just going to run a default 14 period on it. Now, you'll notice that I have a nice and spiffy one over here. This one made by my good friend, Mr. Caretaker. This is actually available on our website. You don't need it. And I'm actually going to teach you how to identify these things without this indicator right here. I do kind of like it. It's kind of like having training wheels on. So even after 10 years, I still actually use this, which I actually do find a lot of value in. Anyways, so what are we going to be doing? Well, what is the name of the game when it comes to RSI? No, it is not overbought. No, it is not oversold. It is divergences. Yes, divergences are the name of the game. And that is, of course, what is going to let us know if there is a weakening trend. So in the case of an uptrend, which we certainly have right here, we want to be judging when is this trend likely to reverse? And the theoretical explanation of this is when momentum starts to wane. And that waning momentum creates a divergence between the price action going up and the RSI oscillator, a momentum oscillator, essentially not going up with it. So how does this look like? Well, in a very simplistic tone, it is simply this. When price action is making a higher high, but the RSI is making a lower high, that is bearish divergence within the context specifically of an uptrend. So obviously you can never have, bullish divergence in an uptrend. You can never have bearish divergence in a downtrend. You can only have the hidden varieties. But actually the sort of TA 101 playlist that I made for this channel, I think is going to be put up relatively soon. I spoke with Ellio last night, so it sounds like they're just, they just want to put some cool little graphics on and everything. Hey, fair enough. Sounds like it is on its way. So that will actually go more in depth on this. Okay. So first things first, let's just talk about what does it even look like? Well, let's go over here. Now, this indicator will literally plot it for you, and this is what it looks like. Basically, a lower high on the RSI. So this high right here, we're going to be, or actually, let's do it like this. Let's go boom, and let's go boom. Or actually, I might have some messy charts here, so we'll go boom, and we'll go boom like this. There we go. Okay, and what do you know? We have a high right here. We have a high right here. the price action is higher, but the RSI is lower. So this move is being essentially put up with less momentum. And what happens after that? Price action comes down. Now, of course, we even go a little bit higher over here. And what do you know? Well, another lower high on the RSI. So 1, 2, 3. And if there's one thing that I can say that matters a lot, 3 strikes and you are typically out. Those are wins. That is when I typically do look for reversals. So if you are sitting on paper profits, well, I think this one's kind of historical right here. Not very fair as an example, because this was literally the prior all-time high. However, let's come up with a couple more examples. How about that? All right, let's go back to the last. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. Do we have a good one right here? Oh yeah, we do. Let's go back to 2019. How about that? All right. So first and foremost, where's our highs? Well, we've gone over this before, but in the context of this, I won't address how to actually confirm a local high, because that's been done in prior videos. I can just kind of put you back towards those ones. And we have a high right here. And we have a high right here. Okay. What's our RSI doing? We have a high. We have a lower high. Momentum is waning. And what happens after that? Price action down big time. 32%. Spends about 3 months going sideways and then drops off more and more and more until, well, this isn't always going to be the result over here, but you can be looking at something like this quite often, especially on some bigger drives like that when the RSI gets rather high. So just as an aside, and now I'm getting a little bit worried here, I know, but this is just on the tip of my tongue, man. I hope that you understand. But one of the reasons why an RSI being very high does kind of matter, not in the sense of overbought or oversold, is the sense that it's going to be very difficult for momentum on price action to remain that high. So naturally speaking, once the RSI starts getting into these crazier territories like the 90 and plus, well, it's a lot more likely to create divergence on the next drive. So in this case, the daily does actually operate very, very well on Bitcoin. And this works on altcoins as well. Of course, we could pick out any random example here. Let me just go towards who we're going to pick on today. Who's going to be? Let's go to, I don't know, let's go to Solana. That one just put in a little bit of a short-term high relatively recently. And what do we have right here? What do you know? So on this last little high, what do we have? Boom. And we have boom. And what are we doing? If I can get back to my chart. There we go. We have a high and another high. This would actually be a lot better seen on a 12-hour in this case. A little bit of a nuanced point here, but you can see a bit more of a short-term correction. This is actually a good segue into the next point. While the daily is a pretty damn good time frame for most cryptos, the daily represents a good time frame for most cryptos that can get some of those more meteor pullbacks. We're talking 20, 30%, maybe even more. When we're looking at just a shallower one like this, we're not going to find it on the daily, or at least we don't see it on the daily at all right here. Nothing. So that tells us that it's probably healthier still long term. But if we go down to the 12-hour, we do see it. So we are looking just for a shorter term correction in comparison to that daily, for example. Who else should we pick on right now? Solana is kind of hard to pick on just because it's generally really good. It generally just goes up and to the right, doesn't it? Let's see, maybe Litecoin. That one's just rallying right now. See, I need more altcoins. Don't know what the hot altcoins are any longer. Maybe AVAX. That one. Nope. Same thing as Solana actually. Maybe we go to BNB. Nope. Now it's continuation. Oh man. Anyways, I think we can go to a more historical look at this, of which what happened at the actual high on BNB in May of this year. Well, we have high number 1 right here. We have high number 2 right here, and we even made an ever so slightly higher high right here. What do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 strikes, and good night on that one. So in the context of this video, I want to be very adamant about saying this. When you see the RSI get very high, like above a 90, it's a lot of the time it actually is likely to go higher, as you can see right here. But it is not a great time to be buying unless if you are just looking for a potentially short-term trade. In these cases, that is a lot of risk. And personally speaking, that is not a very good way to put the odds in your favor, which is what trading is all about. I know that people like to talk about predictions and like I called it, all this good stuff. Hey, you can say that in a different vein, but in trading specifically, there is no such thing. There's only statistics and probabilities. And in this case, statistically speaking, when you see 3 drives of bearish divergence on a daily in most cryptos that have only been around for 5 years or less, even the ones that have been around for longer as well, it is generally a very good time to not be buying and perhaps, like I said, taking profits, because this is really a relevant conversation right now. Again, do I think that Bitcoin's stopping at these levels? Probably not. No, I do think that Bitcoin moves its way onwards and upwards here. Personally speaking, I do think that this market will continue on into at least Q1 of 2022. I think as much as Q3 2022. Tentatively speaking, of course, we had a video on that just the other day, which you can view at any moment that you like. So I don't think it's going to be too relevant for Bitcoin, but judging those pullbacks of which you may want to de-risk or realize some profits, that is certainly relevant for the time being. And hey, I can obviously be wrong on that as well. And if we are to top out sooner, it's good for you to have the tools for when to know when to be cautious and not aggressive. Because I'm sure many people here have been here since 2018. And if they haven't, the people who have been here from 2018 can tell you that a lot of the time when we get into these more exuberant portions of the market, those paper profits turn very quickly into realized losses, and it is very, very nasty. I think we'll do one more here with FTX actually, or FTT, I guess is their token name. Picked up a random one right here, and we actually have a couple examples, right? All right, so what do we have right here? We have a local high, we have another local high. And again, the 10-second explanation of how to judge a local high is it needs to be a clear and obvious stop and reverse point. Again, we've gone over this in previous videos. Don't want to do a detailed one right now, or otherwise this video will be too long. So once we have this high and this high, then we go check out our RSI. Are we making lower highs? Yes. 1 and 2 and good night. What do we have over here? We have a local high. Out of that consolidation, we have this high right here. 1 and 2 and not a full-on reversal, but hey, this is a 45.5% correction. You might call that a crash in traditional markets, but in cryptocurrency land, just a Tuesday, I guess. Anyways, I think that's good enough for this video right now. I wanted to get this video out at this portion in the market, not necessarily because I think things are topping, but because I do believe that at some point it will be very relevant. We want to remain grounded during this. So, despite all of the clickbait, YouTube titles and all that good stuff, understand that's for the YouTube game. When it comes to the content, one thing that I really love about Elliot, and that I try to do as well, is I want the content to be solid and to be relatable and to be hopefully in some way valuable as well. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll probably come at another analysis. So let me know in the comment section below if that's relevant to you or not, or what you'd like to see. And what else do we have? Yeah, now we can go shill the old buy bit right there. No, I probably shouldn't do that. Hey, at the end of the day, when it comes to the old buy bit stuff and leverage trading, don't do it. Put it straight up. Most people should not be leverage trading. However, if you are experienced, take advantage of the deposit bonus. I would do the same thing. To be fair, I'm not above admitting it. Free money is free money. But seriously, if you are looking to trade, do not actually trade a live account. What you should be doing is trading a paper account or a testnet account where you do not risk any finances. That is the way to get some experience under your belt. And then over time, you'll get naturally more comfortable. You'll start to, hopefully have some success after you start to really implement your own strategies, of which that TA 101 playlist couldn't come sooner because it actually goes over that. And then once you have some history with that, then perhaps consider it. That's going to do it for now. I'll be signing off with that said. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.